is a Bramble Jam podcast.
Hello!
Hey!
Welcome back, everybody, to DCOM Descendants. I'm Brian.
I'm Erin.
I'm Dan.
We're talking Double Team today, everybody.
Yeah, we
Get
are.
ready. Get ready.
Oh, I'm
The
ready.
good stuff.
It's time for the movie that I've been looking forward to for a while, mainly because I get to hear Dan talk about basketball,
It's your favorite thing.
and that's a lot of fun.
You don't know anything about basketball. You have to have me
I
come
know
and
well.
educate you.
Yeah, Dan doesn't know a whole lot either,
That's
but
right.
he knows the most out of the three of us.
He was a coach.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
When?
So I
What?
think it's just
I know,
fun
if you can believe it.
to
You
have
coach
him.
basketball?
As of this moment, still active because until the season starts, I guess. You know, then I was
Oh.
one.
Yeah.
Wow. Are they gonna do
Yeah.
like a retirement ceremony for
Oh
you?
heck no. No. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. They're gonna make it. We're all gonna make it.
Better.
You know who else is gonna make it,
What's
Brandon? I
that?
think this podcast, because we
You
got
think so?
5 more reviews.
Woohoo!
I should say 5 more
Maybe
ratings.
you should save some though. Like, what if we don't have some for a while?
Do you
know what
want
I mean?
me to do that, or keep the pressure on for the 300 we need to keep doing this podcast?
Keep the pressure on. I want to hear all these
Yeah,
reviews.
yeah. I see. Of course, you get it. Leo energy. We understand.
I need to, you
I
just
want to hear them now.
need to be encouraged.
The
today.
last one we read, I believe, was from
Was it like
lovely-
Freaka League 97? What was
It was not Freaka League. No. It.
So sorry.
Here's one. It says took it the tape and Aaron.
Oh,
I
yeah,
can't
no,
go any
we did.
further. We've not done this yet.
We did that one.
We didn't because we didn't
Yeah,
use
that
that
episode
recording.
didn't come
Aaron.
out.
That was from the thing we did last week.
Remember when then we stopped
Then we
it?
stopped it.
We made it that far into that
Yeah.
Yeah,
recording?
we
We
made it-
sure did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Remember? Okay.
But whatever. It doesn't
No.
matter.
It was not important.
Aaron's
There's-
right. We don't
there's-
know what she's right
There's
about,
a
but
thing
she's
that
right.
says 5 stars for Aaron. Dan can kick rocks and open-toed shoes. Now,
Yeah.
I don't know what Aaron was right about, but I'm here to tell
yeah.
you that I was wrong and she was right. And I'm thrilled for her, and I'm thrilled for this is Disney XT Swift. So it might be Aaron writing this review.
That's
Either
very
way,
specific.
Very specific.
Not
Ve-
currently wearing a T-Swift shirt
No,
for this
but
Disney DCOM
Disney
podcast.
Disney
DCOM.
XT Swift.
Yeah. Oops.
Yeah, there's also 13579246880 vote. That's
Yes.
one of the. I can't believe that was still there. Can you believe that?
That
that
is-
was still there. That just is doing an underwear bit because it says I could hide out under there, which we're supposed to be like
Underwear?
There you go. They just made you say underwear.
But why?
I don't know. That's
All
good.
right.
You asked them to, I believe.
Oh, okay.
You asked for
yeah.
some jokes.
So that's why.
Guys, we do a lot around here. I don't remember.
Chica
everything.
Lisa TX or
She's
Texas.
so Chica.
Big Fun Maybe 7.
Whoa.
These movies sound insane, but I love y'all talking about them. And then L Shin 12 says, this might be the only DCOM pod I've listened to, but can say with confidence it's the best. Does any other pod come up with their own DCOM acronym? I honestly don't know, but probably not. And as much as it pains me to say it, since I grew up with these movies like Brandon and Aaron did, Dan actually has the best top 10 list right now, so I'm right too. Oh my gosh, we all can be right some guys.
Oh.
Look at that.
Is that because we're both Leos? Leos
I
are
think it
right?
is. Yes,
was
main
that
character
from?
energy.
Who was that
L
from?
Shin 12.
I
El
believe
Shen,
I-
if you were here right now, I'd kick you in the shin. That's how I feel
Ah,
about
there
that.
it is.
That's how I feel about that nonsense. Everyone knows Brink's the best movie of all time. Everybody knows it. Everybody
I don't
loves
think
it.
that is a thing that we know.
Here's what,
Everybody
and thinking
knows
about these
everyone
movies. Here's what I'll tell you, Brand,
What's
is
that,
that even
buddy?
though every week you do this bit and it drives me nuts because Brink is not near the best movie. If I had seen Brink when I was 8 or 9 and then I had not seen it for 25 years, I would think it's the best movie of all of these. If I had seen it when I was 8 or 9, and then I had not, of all of the movies I've seen so far, and then I had not seen any of them for 25 years, Brink would be like, oh, that's solid. That holds up right now.
Yeah. What if
That's
you-
what I would think in my head. Now,
What
after,
if you had seen it when you were 8 or 9 and then also watched it every year for the past
then you would have
20?
no
Well,
excuse at
I
all
don't
to
know.
put that at number 1.
Yeah, you're not making this any better.
Yeah.
I'm just
yeah, yeah.
saying. Wow.
You had an out. You could have taken the old off ramp right off the freeway. and
When
you
have
didn't.
you known me
He
to
was like,
ever
I
take
hear
the
you. I
easy
hear
out?
you, Dan.
Yeah,
But
that's great.
what if I said
However,
it was worse than that?
I am just wrong.
I've never taken the easy out in my life when it comes to takes. Speaking of takes, let's take it. I don't know. It's time for the delish. Every week, Aaron spends
Can't spell
time.
decom without delish.
That's exactly right.
It's not true.
Spends time whipping up something good. Sometimes, Dan, it's a drink that one of
Yeah.
us likes.
Yeah.
One of us doesn't.
Yeah.
Sometimes
it's a
it's a
drink.
food.
Baked good.
Sometimes it's a drink only I like.
That's right.
Yeah.
And sometimes
Which
it
is all that
is.
matters.
Sometimes it's food, and we got food today, which is very exciting.
Yeah.
For Double Teamed, Aaron, what'd you bring?
So Double Teamed is a movie I haven't seen in a few years.
Okay.
And besides it being about basketball and eventually the WNBA, there is one scene in that movie that I
Spoiler.
remembered for like 20 years. And it's the scene where they're eating grilled cheese on. Did we decide it was Christmas Eve, Christmas Day?
It was Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve. Yeah.
Okay. They're eating some disgusting looking grilled cheese, and that scene has just.
It was like grilled cheese with bologna or
And
something.
beans in it.
It
Or
was. I think it
beans.
was like bean and bacon.
So please tell me you didn't do that.
No.
Okay.
I remember grilled cheese and that there were some added elements to the grilled cheese. Decided that we weren't going to go authentic with the bean and bacon grilled cheese.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Oh no.
But
Stop.
I mean, they didn't like it in the movie. I don't
Did
think.
go and get this is a birria taco grilled cheese.
Oh.
It's a birria grilled cheese.
Yeah. So there it's a grilled cheese and then we've got some meat, some cilantro, onions. But yeah.
All right. Let's do it.
I'm scared about the onions.
Of course you
but-
are.
Well,
How's your brain?
You can take this one.
This one right here?
Yeah, I think there's
Okay.
less onion there.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I don't know how to pick things up anymore. Would they have
All right.
liked? Would they have liked this more in Double Teamed than the whatever they had?
I mean,
Probably.
Well, see, we'll get there, but they end up being so disgusted by the grilled cheese that they leave and something magical happens. So they probably loved the bean and bacon. I don't think I would ever try bean and bacon grilled cheese, but yeah, I do love this grilled cheese.
There you have it. I don't really taste the cheese anywhere.
Yeah, this is this restaurant that I went to has 2 locations. I went to the newer location, and I think they're still figuring some things out.
Yeah. You can't be two
So
places
they're
at once.
trying, and I'm proud of them for trying.
Yeah.
But I will probably go back to the original location because they make it on Texas toast, and I like that better.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so grab yourself a grilled cheese, put whatever you want on there. and,
Make it your own.
Yeah, make it your own.
Make it your own.
Whatever your heart calls you to. Pumpkin spice this time of year. Who knows?
Pumpkin spice grilled cheese.
I don't know. Get weird with it.
Get weird with it.
There
I
are
don't
weirder.
want any part of a pumpkin
there-
spice grilled cheese, but God bless you if you do.
There are a lot of weird pumpkin spice things, and I think a grilled cheese is not even in the top 10 of the weirdest pumpkin
My
spice
kids
things.
are big into frosted mini wheats right now,
Are
which
there pumpkin spice mini wheats?
they have pumpkin spice frosted mini wheats. Not bad. Not bad.
I
You
bet.
mix those with some, and I do I've tried this because my kids try it with cinnamon Chex,
Oh.
cinnamon Chex pumpkin spice frosted mini wheats.
Man, you don't have to preface
Milk.
it with a lie. Like, it's fine if you're experimenting
I
with
haven't had
cereal.
a
That's
bowl of
fine. Like, you
cereal
don't
in
have
25 years.
But
It's
you
not
don't
my
have
thing.
to-
I don't. Why would I lie about
Do
it?
you- that's
do you
a
eat
great
the
question.
cereal
Why
with
would you
milk,
lie
or is
about
it
it?
dry? Okay.
Yeah.
Why would he lie about
Yeah,
it?
I don't think you can eat frosted mini wheats without milk. That's a really dry cereal. Like that's like
If you eat frosted mini wheats without milk, please leave us a rating review.
Yeah.
And explain some
Explain
things.
yourself.
Yeah, explain. Just,
Also, leave a review letting us know the best cereal without milk. Now I'm intrigued. Like,
and
are
if
there
you have
some
proof
that work really well
Aaron
without milk?
is Disney XT Swift, leave us a rating and review. That would be another.
I don't
great
really know
reason
where
to-
that proof's coming from, but I
You
would like
could
to see
leave
that proof.
pictures on your review.
We're going to take a quick break.
You can't.
We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're
It's
going to talk
just
about
Aaron
Double Team.
photoshopped into getting the username
DCOM
Disney
send
XT Swift. Maybe a video where she's like, ha ha ha.
gotta.
He'll never see this coming.
Welcome back, everybody, to DCOM Descendants. Today we are descending upon the first movie
How have you not done this yet? It's not the first movie.
of 2002. You didn't
the
let me
first
finish
movie-
Descendants before
well,
you made fun of me.
Started in the, you stopped
There was
in the
a
middle.
very
of-
long
You-
pause.
So you were
Oh,
just
I
sitting into the
think-
first movie.
Of 2020.
Pauses are like the end of a sentence.
I was trying to
right.
find the year. Yeah, of 2002.
So
2002.
you started that sentence and didn't know where you were going.
Yes,
Get it together.
It's a sentence
Welcome to
I
Brand's
said.
life.
Yeah, you act like that's weird.
It is weird, but
man.
also is not weird for you.
This movie did air in January 18th, 2002. Directed by the big D
Rob
himself,
Zombie.
Dwayne Dunham. Dwayne
Dunham.
That's exactly right. You know him from maybe the
Jeff Dunham's brother?
assistant editor of Star Wars
The original Star Wars.
and
like,
the assistant editor of The Empire Strikes Back. You may know him from those things. But you also may know him as television director of such things such as Halloween Town, The 13th Year,
Such things
Ready
such
to
as-
Run, and now Double Teamed.
He's a DCOM vet.
He's a DCOM vet.
This guy.
He also has two. He also has.
Ooh.
Yeah. He also has two episodes
He's on some
of
good ones.
2 episodes of Seventh Heaven directing as well. So when I see their smiling faces,
What was it recently where you realized I'd not seen an episode of that and you were appalled?
I still am. I would do a podcast where we watch that together.
That you think that's one of those shows?
I think it's a show.
Have you ever seen the guy who does the recaps where he
Dude.
explains
Yes.
and they're like
Yeah.
bonkers?
Yeah, I guess I've seen whatever. Brand showed me one of those videos.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never had any
What's not to know?
desire to watch it. I mean, it doesn't. But it also isn't a show that it's as big in the zeitgeist as some of these other things, is it? Like, am I crazy here?
I mean, it's zeitgeisty, but I don't know if it's
it's zeitgeist.
zeitgeisty. This movie is starring.
It's like Geist adjacent.
yeah, it's Geist adjacent. So
I
I'm
don't
like,
think you need to waste your time watching
Exactly.
11 seasons of
Yeah,
Seventh Heaven.
yeah.
agree to disagree. I think we just have a different level of what's worth wasting time on.
we all do.
Mine's a pretty low thresholds.
Do you want to do a Righteous Gemstones podcast?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, yeah.
Why waste time talking about good TV when you could talk bad TV? That's my motto.
But I think Righteous Gemstones is both good and bad TV.
It's amazing television. How dare you,
this movie is starring Poppy Monroe. That's a real name.
Poppy?
Gemstones are always right.
And Annie McIlwain.
It can't be McIlwain. McIlwain, I think is what we're going for. Is it McIlwain?
MC capital EL.
I believe the pronunciation you're looking for
W-A-I-N.
is Moss. That is Moss Windu.
Moss Windu.
Moss Windu, yeah.
Yes.
I like how Dan.
Sometimes you got to live Moss Windu. You know what I mean?
Dan's
Sometimes
commitment.
you got to live Moss Windu. I was wrong. I said I was wrong. It's no
I know,
big
but
deal.
your commitment to correcting me, even when it's not in front of you, you just hear it and you're like, that can't be
Well,
right.
when you said Mace Windu, I literally in my head had thought it was Moss for 25 years.
Believe
I
it or
was
not,
wrong.
your head's not always
and,
right.
and I said I was wrong. I looked
Yeah.
it up and I said I was wrong.
Did you say it on the pod?
I don't know if I said it on the pod or not.
It feels good
Well,
to say it
he's
on
saying
this
it on-
pod,
he's
I'll say it whenever you want me to.
which is not the right pod.
Don't say
But
I was wrong.
hey, Dan, I'm gonna cash in one of my "you saying I'm wrongs." It doesn't really matter what it's about, but
You
I'm cashing
go for
one
it,
in.
buddy.
If you say, you put out there, I will say whatever you want me to say.
No.
Brant, that is what you just said.
I said I'll say it whenever you want me to. Like I'll say like if you want me to say I was wrong about Moss Windu now, I'll say it now.
'Cause
If you
Bram's
want,
gonna get that
if you want me
teleprompter
to
and you're gonna
say
be in
I was
trouble.
wrong about Moss Windu being Mace Windu later, I'll say it. I don't care. I'll say whatever you want me to. That's what I'm.
But only about that. You won't say whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if I'm wrong, I'll tell you I'm wrong.
Yeah, but you won't say whatever I want you to whenever.
No. Gosh, no.
Well, what if there was a teleprompter and you were just blind?
Yeah,
reading
what
the
if you had
teleprompter?
to?
Oh, if you put it on the teleprompter, I'm going to read it.
Yeah,
There's nothing I can do. I can't go off script.
It's 1985.
We're
We've
definitely
got
not off script
14-year-old identical twins, Heather and Heidi Birch.
Identical.
This is what the bio says. I don't know what to tell
Well,
you.
Brand couldn't tell them apart.
No, I can't. But you act like that's a great. Like I
not.
can't tell basically anyone. But there's no one worse at. I think that person looks like that person than me. I can't do it, and it's because I can't remember what people look
See.
like. I can't when I close my eyes. I can't envision things, and that's a curse that I've been given. But that's neither here nor there. I'm not good at it. But the Wikipedia says they're identical twins, so I'm going to take the Wikipedia.
But in the movie, they
Wikipedia would
100%
never-
are not identical because they're different actors who aren't even related.
That's
So,
right.
Yeah.
And they
They're just blonde.
Identical.
Yes. And they are being pushed very hard by their father to volleyball. Their dad is like, volleyball is the future. Volleyball's where it's at. And
This
you
is how
two,
you're going to make the money. It's
and-
volleyball.
That's right. And you two are very tall. So
Volleyball.
yes, so volleyball. But as he's,
Tall people only have a few career options.
It's volleyball.
Volleyball's one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's
I think
like two
that's-
more.
Yeah, that's about it. And so he's at like their practice, or it's a camp, or it's a something. And
It's like like the Y.
okay.
It's like the local rec center.
Okay, it's the local rec center. And this guy walks over and he's like, "Boy, howdy, you got some tall girls there. Have you
be a better way to say that.
Have you heard about
The Lord.
scholarships? Have you heard about college scholarships?" And Dad's like, No, I don't.
Speak more to
what
me
are you
about
saying
this
about? And this
weird
guy,
magic that is a college scholarship.
this guy's like, if your kid or kids are good enough at sport, they could go to college for free. And dad is like, this is amazing.
Tell me more right now.
Tell me more right now, immediately. But so he decides the best course of action is to get him into a school that is more competitive. Therefore, it'll look better to the
Yeah, on
college.
the
They'll have
college
more
resume.
recruiters.
Yeah.
He figures all this scholarship out for stuff
Really
pretty
quickly.
quickly. He's like, I know
It's
exactly
like
what we
maybe
need to
2
do.
minutes of this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, oh, I didn't know what scholarships were, but now I do. And, we're going to change our whole lives anyway. So
All of it.
there is
Everything.
a school that they're not zoned for, but is very good. And so he decides that they're going to go to that school, even though technically they're not supposed to.
How
And
does he get in?
I think they're given X amount of time
To move.
What is
2
it?
weeks.
2 weeks to move before they, have to go somewhere
Kick
else.
back to their home school?
Yeah, I guess they'll go back to their home school if they're not moved in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I believe it's probably something along the lines of like, hey, we're moving into this district. I'm gonna, we're enrolling them here, and then I think it was like you have 2 weeks to provide the updated.
Right. Yes. So
All those schools don't need updated
The
paperwork.
80s and 90s were a wild time.
That's true. I always forget this is in the 80s.
it's
Yes,
in the
it's
80s. They say it
1980s.
once and
Well,
then never again. It is what it is. So they go to this new school, and right away, is it Heidi that's really into the arts? Heidi she's never been very excited about the sports, even when it was volleyball at the old school. Like Heather was waking up early, doing the workout, practicing and stuff. And Heidi's just like, whatever, I'll do it when I do it. But she shows up and is immediately taken by the arts program. They were like, we need somebody that's tall to play Scarecrow and Tin Man. Man, I had a 50-50 shot there. And so she's into that. Dad's pretty disappointed, but as long
How
as
dare you be in the arts?
as long as volleyball's still on the table, it is what it is.
Volleyball's where the money is. Nobody's ever gotten any money for acting, but
That's exactly right.
volleyball, big time.
So obviously volleyball not until the spring, and so there's some time, and so she's gonna do the little art thing.
We'll let
and
you do your little artsy thing.
yes, as long as of course, come volleyball season, you're good to go. Heather, on the other
Yeah,
hand,
don't get hurt playing the Tin Man.
she is moving around some volleyballs when she sees another sport. Another sport catches her eye.
Fencing.
No,
Oh.
basketball.
Whoa.
Basketball catches her eye, and
She's never even considered basketball.
she's never even. I think just like Dad in college scholarship, she didn't know it existed.
Nah, basketball,
She-
never heard of it.
Nah, it's like whatever. And so she sees this sport, and she thinks maybe I should give this a shot. And
She is in like the volleyball gym, but there's too many people.
there's too many people.
So she takes like a basket of the volleyballs and goes to the basketball gym.
As
Yes.
public schools have, they have a gym for every sport.
Yes, it is.
That's pretty common.
It's a big one. It's a big
Well,
school.
they used to share one, but then there was this huge fight between the volleyballers and the basketballers,
It
and
was.
it got ugly. And they
Yeah.
said, you know what? It's probably better 2 gyms.
Two gyms.
And so she's basically like, wonderful.
That's in the Double Teamed prequel.
Which is called
It's coming up.
Single team.
single team. They were all. It's about the school. It's not about the girls. I don't know who this movie's for.
Just
but
us.
Just us, I guess. It's a documentary.
Yeah, it's a
about the
45-minute
school,
documentary. It's
and-
fine.
Single team's actually a confusing title. It's just about a school.
It is. But back when they were one team. Now
Yeah.
they're two. Now they're
Maybe it's
multiple.
just
Now
called
they're
like
spread
Palo
out.
Alto.
What team?
Palo Alto.
Single team.
The Sea Kings. What is it? The Sea.
Sea dogs. Sea
Kings.
monsters.
I think it's the
Is
Sea
it Sea
Kings.
Kings? Man,
We're great.
Crushing
pulled
it.
that right from the old
Crushing
noggin.
it.
I might
Everyone's
not-
saying that we're the best DCOM podcast. You're right.
You're right.
We're professionals.
I might not be able to remember what you look like, but I know the Sea Kings. Don't you worry.
I know that they carry tridents.
Yes, absolutely. So she is like, you know what? This is how she like pitches it to her dad. She's like, while I'm waiting for volleyball season to happen, this could actually be really good practice for me. You know, I can get another sport. It will help me prepare for volleyball in different ways, I suppose. So I'll play basketball, and that'll prepare me for volleyball. And Dad is like, wonderful, fantastic. Heidi, you sure you don't want to be more like your sister?
Heather, you've got your head in the game.
She sure does.
Get your head in the game.
Tries to convince Heidi to play basketball, but isn't having it. It's like, whatever. I don't want to play basketball. I just want to act.
I want to act. I want to be in the theater.
The theater. And so the basketball, she shows up and she's never really played basketball before. And so it takes her, I don't know, 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And
She doesn't get it right away. It takes her a handful of seconds before she's really good.
Before she is just sinking baskets and just everyone's like, whoa.
right.
Yeah.
That's how it is when I play basketball too. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Hoops for days.
Hoops for
is what I've heard.
days.
yeah. So the lead, the
I was
head,
probably hoop for like one day.
the head basketball star,
What a
Nikki,
day.
is immediately obviously threatened by her.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, she's tall.
I'm not tall.
She goes up to her and she's like, don't forget who I am.
This is my team.
This is my team now.
What team? Nikki's team.
What team? Nikki's team is exactly right. But that doesn't bother her. She's like, you know what? I can ball with the best of them. I've had my 3 seconds to learn it. I'm good to go.
Was Dan her coach?
Yes.
That's what it's 3 seconds and people are great.
That's right. That's what they're talking about when they say 3 seconds in basketball.
If I can't get a basketball player to be amazing in basketball in 3 to 5 minutes, then I've not really done my job as a coach.
And you just cut them right from the team.
Yeah.
Because it's
For
really
sure.
their problem,
For
not yours.
sure. Yeah, they'll never get it if they don't get it in the first few
Yeah.
minutes.
Heidi, who is just really, she's making friends and stuff.
Yeah.
She gets invited to this party, and Heather ends up going as well. And at this party,
Heather does not go to that party.
Heather goes. They both
Pretty
go
sure
to
they
the
were
party.
both at the party.
They both go to the party, and that's where she lies. Heidi lies about the address, and Heather's like, "Why'd you do that?"
Yeah, I'm pretty sure both of them were at the party.
I thought it was their friend. It was like a theater party.
She's there too. Yes,
I'm pretty sure they were both there.
But it's at Nikki's house. That's Nikki's house that they're at.
No, because Nikki thinks that Heidi is Heather. Heather's not there. She's like, yeah, we met at basketball tryouts. And Heidi's like, no, that's my sister. And Heather and Nikki's like, there's two
That
of you?
conversation does happen.
It does happen.
Yeah, but I think either way, whatever the case, whether they're both there or not, Heidi ends up lying about the address,
Right.
Where they live, and it's this whole
1984 Ocean Avenue.
Ocean Avenue.
Yeah,
Ocean
School
Avenue.
District Drive.
There's a place on
Homeless.
Ocean Avenue.
That's right. Where I used to sit. I would
Talk.
talk to
Yeah.
you.
How old were you?
16.
Really?
I felt
How'd it
right.
feel?
Felt right to
Yeah.
me.
Did you stay up at all, like late?
I stayed up all day.
Wow, you must have slept like
I
crazy
stayed up all night. Yeah, I did.
all day.
Yeah. So, Nikki obviously hears this, and she's annoyed with the fact that Heather is so good and all of this stuff. And she figures out that they don't actually live there. I don't remember how Nikki. Do you remember how she figures this out? But Nikki figures
she
out
walks
that
up to Heather at practice and she's like, hey, I heard about your house. I drove by it. It's a donut shop. And then the other girl on the team, whose name I can't remember, gets excited because she's like, you live in a donut shop? Sweet baby girl. No.
it is good to know that 1984 all county drive or whatever is a donut shop. is a donut shop. It's great. And so Nikki basically turns them in and is like, I'm gonna try to get her out of here because this is my
you
team.
don't live here.
Yes. And so that's a whole thing. So they end up moving to this apartment. They just uproot everything that they had. They moved to this apartment complex because they can't afford a house
In this rich neighborhood. Yeah.
Fancy area. That's exactly right. Eventually, Dad basically is like, "Hey, Heidi, you've got to play basketball. Our hands are tied here. Basketball is your future. Volleyball is your future. Basketball is the future. Acting's not the future." And so she is forced to quit and join the basketball team. And she also learns basketball pretty quick.
I think within the same, like,
I think maybe quicker.
Very close
like,
to that 3 to 5 seconds mark that that Heather learned in. And there's some battling going back and forth. They're battling with each other. They're on opposite teams in practice, and they're like, I'm better than you, blah, blah, blah. And all that good
stuff. It becomes more
stuff.
about like shoving each other than actually playing basketball.
That's right. But eventually, I guess somehow the team begins to bond-ish. And but it's clear Heather's the star. Heather is the star. They even say as much at the pep rally where they announced who's on the team. The coach is like, and our star player.
That weird.
Yeah. Our
Pep
star
rally.
player,
You
Heather.
know, every sport and everything really gets a full student pep rally where
Everyone
everybody in the
files
student
into the
body.
auditorium. There's a
And
backdrop.
that's when they announce the team who's made it. So if you've not made it, you can be super duper embarrassed
in front of
in front of the
entire
entire
student
school.
body.
It's perfect. What
Yeah.
could go wrong?
Yeah, and high schoolers don't hold on to that stuff for the rest of their lives.
No.
So, yeah, perfect. We're not emotionally scarring anybody.
That's right.
Move on.
The team is there's still some bickering, there's still some fighting. Nikki is insistent that she's the star, and so there's a lot of like just arguing and whatnot. And so the coach does one of these numbers. He's like, gather around, everybody. It's clear that you all aren't prepared for the New York City at Christmas time basketball tournament.
High
You'll
school
never, you'll just get killed if we go out there.
We can't go out.
I guess I'll tell them no. Tell who no? Well, fancy basketball tournament in New York wanted you for some reason.
It's the East Coast Christmas time New York City basketball tournament. Why would we go as a West Coast team?
Oh, we wouldn't.
I don't care. It doesn't matter. We're not going
Yeah.
We
anyway.
got a dumb
You guys-
invite,
you guys
but
don't
you
even wanna
guys
go.
would just get you'd get murdered.
We'd have to spend Christmas in New York.
You're
lame.
so far below the talent level of this
Yeah.
tournament. You would just even say it out loud is kind of ridiculous.
So
Yeah.
obviously,
You guys wouldn't work together.
no. This inspires the group to work together, and they have to raise some money.
Say,
Obviously,
Coach, don't make us sing.
they don't
make us
sing,
go to New
but
York for
they
Christmas.
they don't sing, but they do dance. Heidi and Heather, to raise money, do
They do some busking.
tap
They
dance.
just start out on the streets.
Well, they do a lot of cleaning boats at the marina, and they're $20 short from their portion of the ticket fee. So time for some tap dance,
Bingo bongo. That's
which
all.
we always fall back
We
on.
all,
our
that's what
tap
we do
dance.
around
It
here.
is our
When we're
fault.
short on paychecks, we go out to the
Yeah.
old Main Street.
It happens more
it's
often.
fun
than,
about working here is you have to actually like
That's right.
earn your
That's
paycheck.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally sing for yourself.
It's not the
Literally.
job that's earning you the paycheck. It's
I have to do the job
It's
and
the
then
tap
also
dance.
earn my paycheck.
it's the tap dancing.
Yeah.
We're tap dance. I know we're not tap dance forward, but it's a big part of
Yeah.
the company.
It's just 10%. We
And
guarantee
hey,
90%.
you're getting pretty good.
You are.
I mean, I don't want to boast because the Bible says not to, but I will boast in the Lord, and I will also say,
The Lord has given you some mad tap
yeah,
dancing skills.
the Lord has been hooking me up, is all I'm trying to say, with the tap dancing skills. So in New York,
Got away from you.
yeah, in New York, they're at the basketball tournament in this dimly lit, only by Christmas lights gym, and
The folks in Hoosiers would be like, we need some more lights.
and
Sorry, it's the rules of the what was it, East Coast New York at Christmas time
yeah,
tournament.
I do love
The
that
rules
this is,
are you can only play by tree.
It's the New York. You thought you were going to New York City? No, this is upstate New York. This is like,
But also
we
somehow
can't.
still Manhattan.
Yes, we can't afford any more lights for this gym. You can go to Manhattan to visit, but the basketball game, that's like 30 miles south of Poughkeepsie. That's not where you want. You are not anywhere near where you want to be. I can promise you that.
the game is very close. The other team's coach gets mad, gets a technical, and of course they need at least one of these free throws in order to win the game, put it away. And of course, Heidi's gonna, Heather's gonna go to the free throw line. She's the best player. She's the best shooter. Of course, she's gonna go. No. Coach calls a little audible here. Heidi, you're gonna go shoot those technical free throws. To which Dad is like, "What are you doing? What?" And it's this whole thing. And she goes and she makes. Am I switching up
I think
games.
I don't think her parents are
That's
there.
right.
No,
I'm
this
thinking
is the
about
one they
the
lose.
second game.
Yes.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
first game they just lose, but
lose
Heather
all-
They come
wins
in
MVP.
second. They come in second, but
Yes.
Heather gets MVP.
Heather gets MVP,
and it's
which
the
is-
first time in tournament history
That
that
the-
the MVP is not on the winning
Yeah.
team.
But we don't get to see any of that game.
No,
we
if
just
you-
see
if
the
you
end, it's a
thought-
heartbreak.
Yeah,
That's all we get to
we-
see.
If you thought the game I was describing
They
was
probably
exciting,
had more
just
footage,
wait, it's coming.
but you couldn't see it because it was only
Yeah,
with
it was
like,
so dark. It was
with
so,
like
so
two
dark.
Christmas trees in the corner.
They do. It's a close one, but they do lose. But she still gets the MVP, which she's like proud of.
As she's crying.
As she's crying,
did it.
yeah, I did. I'm the MVP. Oh man, it's tough. And so now they get back. This is we're about to get to the scene where these the Delish segment was inspired by, but it's Christmas Eve, and
Christmas Eve.
we find out that Nikki's dad is nowhere to be found, and so.
He had. What do you mean? He was there at some point? No.
No.
We
He
haven't
hasn't been there all
met
movie.
him. He
Yes.
is a big business boy, and he is always traveling for
He's
work.
always traveling.
So Nikki is basically just home alone in her mansion, being raised by the driver.
The driver, the butler, I don't know. But
Both.
Heather and Heidi see her sitting sad at the airport, and it's like, "Where's your parents?" And he's like, "My dad's in Chicago." And they're like, "On Christmas Eve, this is crazy." So they invite her to their apartment, which is when Dad makes the grilled cheese and bean sandwich.
The bean and bacon.
They're like, "We're out of here." They go outside and they play some basketball.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
They're like, perfect time for hoops.
It's the perfect time for hoops. That's
And
exactly
when you
right.
hoop.
As someone who lives in an apartment, let me tell you,
Yeah.
No.
Hoop it up at 2 a.m.
there
Do it.
used to be, this is going to sound really bougie, and I'm sorry, there is a putting green outside my apartment, and there,
okay.
there used to
Fancy.
be a group of guys who would be out there up at like 1 a.m. drinking and playing
Yeah.
some sort of golf. And it was
To be fair,
awful.
if I was like 24 years old and there was a it was a putting green outside of my apartment complex, the number of times we would have been out there in the middle of the night
I
would
get
have
it.
been.
I get it. They were like, I think like mid to late 20s. Like, sure, I get it. Hang out there. But when it's 1:30 in the morning and you're still like, yelling, and it's right outside my window.
Oh, now I'm just mad. I'm mad just
like,
thinking
I get
about
it. I'm sure it's fun, but I do want to be asleep. So
Well, those putts aren't going to putt themselves, and I think
Putts aren't going to put
just
themselves.
some personal trauma when I saw that part in the movie. I was like, I forgot that they did this. It's 1 a.m. That's like a chain hoop. Get away
Now
from me.
it does wake one person up
Oh, yeah,
for sure.
only one person in that building.
and it just so happens that he is
Hot guy.
the hot guy
And
from
his
school.
name is?
Marty
Marty McPopcollar.
No, it's
he could be one of your kids.
Gray.
It's
Shit,
like
Steel Gray.
Ben Gay Gray.
Galen.
It's
Galen.
It's not Ben Gay Gray. I promise you that. Can you
Galen though.
imagine?
Galen Gray.
Galen Gray. And
Yeah.
this guy who's doing interviews and spinning basketballs, he lives in that janky apartment complex.
That's exactly right.
Which
Hey,
we
talent
knew.
comes from everywhere.
Look, there's nothing wrong with that, but this guy at school is not who you would think would be living in this apartment complex. And then he just rolls out like that's not just
Well,
common.
it makes a whole lot of sense if you think about it, because
Does
he
it?
is playing a basketball, like star basketball player, but we've never seen him play a game. At this school, the boys team and the girls team don't
separate
compete
seasons.
at the same time.
No, separate seasons. It's big. It makes
so that
it really
Galen
efficient.
can go to every single women's basketball.
And when you have a gym for every sport, you can do stuff like this.
yeah.
You can like
So-
spread it out. Who cares?
Yeah, I just don't think he actually plays basketball. I think it's all a ruse, and he lives in this apartment complex, and he's just awake at 1 a.m.
They are all so excited to see him though, and
They
he
freak out, and they all become best friends.
They play a little bit of ball. He touches all of them.
That's all true. None
Yeah.
of what you said's a lie.
I think I
Yeah.
said is wrong. But
He touches Heidi's shoulder. She keeps moving. So
doesn't he like reposition them?
yeah,
yes,
repositions
he
them.
like takes their shoulders and puts them in this triangle
Yes.
formation.
Yes.
Heidi keeps forgetting where she's supposed
It's a
to stand.
triangle offense, Brandon.
They
but
get
he
out of
keeps-
that. Yeah, they get out of the triangle quick.
And then
but,
as soon as the ball's in play, they all
It
leave
doesn't
that
matter.
formation.
They're- yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know why we spent 10 minutes setting that up.
well, because
He woke up in the middle of the night. He's like, I need to touch some shoulders.
yeah.
He woke up in the middle of the night. He was like, what's that? Oh, that's me touching hella shoulders. Try and stop
I
me.
hear someone
the
on the
number of effing shoulders I'm touching.
I hear-
You don't even know.
In high school,
Are there
nuts.
some high school girls on the basketball court outside?
Somebody's shoulders are getting touched.
I'm a high school star basketball player. I can go out there
I can
and
touch some shoulders. It's the 80s.
It's the 80s.
Oh,
when
man.
you're a famous high school basketball player, they let you touch them.
That's right. You just go up to them and you touch their shoulders.
That's exactly right. You grab
Grab
them
them by the shoulders. You grab them by the shoulders.
They let
It's
you.
locker room talk,
they
man. I
let
know what you
you.
want. It's locker room talk.
They
I
let
will
you.
say, we'll take a serious moment here. No one in this office has ever touched my shoulders without
That's
my
true.
consent. So this is all funny ha-has, but these boys, they take shoulder touching seriously.
No, we take it seriously.
I did touch your arm, but
Yeah.
it was more for the sparkle effect.
Yeah, and that was-
you
that
know,
was above board.
And that was wrong.
Yes.
No, it was
You
wrong.
did ask what she was wearing
Yes.
at one point. So one of us takes it seriously. One of us.
I think there's a way to do that right. I don't know if I did it right, but I think there's a way to do it right.
Aaron, tell us what you're wearing.
When you think somebody's dressed snazzy, I think you should be able to encourage them. Be like, hey, that's a nice snaz. It's a nice snaz, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, but it was just fun because I wasn't on camera. Aaron, tell us what you're wearing.
What are you wearing?
Hey, Brian. Brian, what are you wearing,
What are
bud?
you wearing?
What are you wearing? Who are you wearing?
We
So
have fun
anyway,
here, guys.
We do.
now it's time for that game.
Which one?
The one with the free throws, the technical foul, the
That's
free
right.
throws, the whole thing.
Oh, she gets injured.
Yeah,
You
you
didn't
know
do
what?
that.
No.
Well, hold on. No.
Oh, yeah,
Just
there's a
second.
game. And
Oh,
then
it's another
the
game. My
game
bad.
with the
guys,
free
there's a
throw.
lot of
Another door.
basketball
Right.
games
So-
in this movie about basketball.
So Heidi hits the game
for
winning
days.
free throw, which makes Heather really jealous, and she realizes she's like, I got to work twice as hard.
Right.
I got to be the best. Blah blah blah. So she goes
No one's
out.
ever been better at sports than me.
That's right. So she goes out to the parking lot again
With?
Galen, and he's like,
Ben
"Hey,
Gay-Gray.
hold on there, Buckaroo. You're going really hard. I think
Yeah,
maybe
you
you need to
should-
take a step back."
Yeah, you played
When
a
you're
hard.
going that fast, I can't even touch your shoulders.
That's right.
You played a really hard game. You're gonna like hurt yourself before the actual big game.
Yeah, and so she does. She gets hurt. She rolls her ankle real bad.
Which
her-
ankle? Both of them?
Her mom comes out and is like, "What happened?" And he's like, "I didn't touch her.
I didn't touch her or
I
her
didn't
shoulders,
do anything.
anything."
Like, I can't get in trouble
Mom
for
just
this."
happens to be walking by with a basket of laundry.
Yeah.
Dad's
It's a weird
also Dad's
apartment complex.
also there too.
Dad comes out there.
Yeah, it comes out. Here's the crying.
Here's the
Yes.
here's the screaming goes. That's my girl.
So, and this is bad news because she is now going to be out for the championship game, which
Do you think her ankle will heal in time? Maybe she could play on the boys team.
oh maybe
yeah.
I think so. I don't see why
No,
not.
it's a different month.
Yeah, it's a whole different season altogether. Like this is a winter. Then
Oh,
that's,
but maybe does it conflict with volleyball?
it might. I might. It might. I don't know. And
That
so
hurts.
they are. It's time for the championship game. It's very intense. And Heather's there, cheering them on. But she's in her street clothes. There's nothing. She wishes that she could contribute to this game.
There's
but
nothing she can do. She's
There-
in street clothes. She's clearly not eligible to play in the basketball game.
She can
Pretty
barely- She can
straightforward.
barely walk.
Yeah. So the game is very close. The game is very intense, and they are gonna.
Did you say intense or did you say intent?
I heard intent.
The game
The
is
game's
intense.
intent.
The game's intense.
For all intents and purposes, the game is happening right now.
They couldn't find any Christmas trees, so they got tents.
There's no dome. There's no gym. There is tent. The game is in tent.
It's
Big
a
tent. It's in giant tent.
Big
Large
tent.
tent. It's in large tent.
It's
It's
in
a
large
big tent game.
So
And what can you do?
basically, here's what Heather decides to do. Heather's like, "Hold on, coach, stall," and then she like hobbles her way out,
Yeah.
and we're like,
Does
"Okay."
Coach stall? No, they go
No,
right back
they
to
do
playing.
go right back into it, but there is going to be another opportunity. So there's like a timeout, I believe, and they are going to get the ball, and
Yeah.
they need to score, or else they
They're
They're-
lose
going
the
to try
game.
to use her as a decoy.
They're double.
well-
The other team is double teaming Heidi.
Yes,
Heidi
that's
can't
the
get
whole
a
thing.
shot in.
Yeah, and so nobody has been able to score because she's getting double teamed. She's throwing the ball away, all crazy.
name of the movie.
They need one shot,
One opportunity.
and I think they have 10 seconds to get it. And as coach
do
is
what?
like, "Hey, timeout,
See everything
timeout."
you've ever wanted.
Heather comes out in her basketball uniform.
Yeah, that took her a minute.
This is my fight
Yes.
song.
And it's crazy that they had the rights to that song.
That's right.
Back in 2002.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
The opposing coach rightfully says, "Hey, don't worry about her. She can't move."
She can't move.
Which
As she walks in in excruciating
Oh
pain.
my God, she can't put any pressure on the
Every
leg.
step
None.
she takes, she's like,
That's right. So she's like,
the
hey,
coach is like, yeah, forget her.
hey, coach, I might not be able to move, but I can be decoy. That'll free somebody up to get
The
a
game
shot.
is intent.
Yeah.
I can
The
be
game is
decoy.
intent. The game is intent on
Intent decoy.
on making this as hard as possible.
Now,
so
Brand, before you go any further, all movie she's been doing a little foot move.
little foot move.
A little foot move. You need to know this. All movie they go
A little
down.
shuffle, shuffle.
They Quentin Tarantino right down to the feet, and they just like see her doing this little shuffle. And she can't do that now because she's literally on one leg here.
Oh, hold her beer.
Yeah.
She gets the ball, 10 seconds left, and she immediately starts
longest 10 seconds of
shuffle.
any movie
It's
ever.
a slow motion.
100 seconds.
So she begins doing her shuffle step,
And
which
you can just-
everyone knows. Everyone
hurts.
knows that means she's about to put on the gas and just go drive in and get her shot. She knows what she's doing. So the opposing team begins to run at her, which frees up her sister. Now she could pass her the ball easy, like a normal pass, but
No,
no,
she
she takes a
drives.
step and then goes around her back, which is something they tried earlier in the movie and it didn't.
yeah, it was a
didn't turn out very
callback.
well.
Another callback, Brand. Yeah.
It is a bad pass, though. Her sister does have to go out of her way to get it.
The
It's
freaky
very
twin thing.
inefficient.
The
Yep.
defender, though, still goes up for the block. She waits, goes up, makes a shot. Boom.
They win.
We flash forward. Both sisters are in the WNBA.
Oh, by the way, Nikki's dad showed up.
Oh, we forgot that. too.
Heidi and Heather's dad went to Chicago and said,
It's like somehow got Nikki's dad. And
in what our opinion is dad basically went undercover, did a bunch of cocaine with this guy, convinced him in the dead of night to come back with him to California for the
you should
championship.
come to one of your daughter's
It's
basketball
as
games.
good as any explanation for this.
Yeah.
It is. It's as good as any that we have.
Because Nikki's dad definitely does cocaine.
Oh, for
He's
sure.
definitely up on that. Like that's just who he is. And so, like, hey, to help gain the trust of Nikki's dad, they had a whole night bender.
And
it's
that's
the
why they're-
things-
and that's
it's-
why they're late.
That's the things you do
for your kids.
for your kids. That's exactly right. They end up
I
showing
had
up
to
late.
do cocaine for my kids.
So Nikki's dad is like, "Wow, you're amazing at basketball. I love you." And she's like, "Oh, thanks, Dad." And then Heather and Heidi's dad is like, "Sorry that I maybe was hard on you at some point in life."
Turns out that maybe sports aren't everything.
but sports are everything because the WNBA is
Well, he
about
does
to
let
start.
Heidi go to drama camp.
Yeah, whatever. Who cares? Because the WNBA is starting, and fast forward, they are both in the WNBA.
Mm-hmm.
They go up. They say their little tagline of 1 second best, always second best to each other, and
Yep.
then
So it
jump
rolls
ball,
off the tongue. Yeah.
jump ball. Both of them are on opposing teams, and we love it, everybody. We love it. Let's take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to get to
Do we love it?
We love
loved
it.
Overtime.
We love it.
making the list here on
DCOM
DCOM
Descendants.
Descendants. Bop, bop, bop. So it's not Gaylord? Welcome back, everybody. We're talking Double Teamed.
Double teamed.
2 for the price of 1.
That's right.
Now,
A
it's,
lot of movies with multiples, like twins, quints, you know.
Yeah, it is. It's time for overtime. It's time to talk about how this movie aged
The Other
over
Me.
time. The Other Me, that's exactly right. I do have some letterbox reviews for some people that have
I
watched
love it.
this recently as well. Adam says 4 stars. The best part of this movie is that they fill the high school with literal children to make these 2 look really tall, even though they're already grown women. That's true. Everybody, when they're walking into the high school for the first time, you would think that they're 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
And it's because
There's that
they're
one
just
kid who I think
children.
is like 10 years old.
Yeah, if that.
But also they go out of their way to tell you that they're not even they're under 6
Yeah,
feet,
they're under
which
6
is
feet.
also
Which is
really
weird because
stupid.
in real life,
They're 6'5".
they're 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So stupid.
And the actor, or no, somewhere there was like 6'1". I was like, why couldn't they just be?
Yeah. Pretty straightforward.
Why'd they have to be like?
They didn't even have to say their height, but they
No,
chose to.
yeah.
And they went with 5'10".
Yeah, they went with just south of 6
Just south
feet,
of
I
6
guess.
feet, I guess. Evasive says 2.5 stars. I haven't seen Netflix's Tall Girl, but I already know this is a superior movie. AMC Squirrel says 1 star. The dad deserves jail time. Austin says 1.5 stars. Surprisingly enough, it's not a porn movie.
Oh my God.
Said 2 stars. Hell yeah, SpongeBob rave music. And that is a very specific mention to this time where they play rave music for no reasons. Go, 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 go. Scoobert D. Dubert says,
Is that you?
says one,
Scoobert D. Dubert reviewed this movie?
says 1 star. Wow, crazy that these 6'3", 25-year-olds were able to dominate the other 10th graders like that.
Yeah.
Wowka says 2.5 stars. The dad believes so little in Heidi that he got the absent parent of the team's MVP to show up to the game so she would perform better. When you say it like that,
It's true.
That's tough. There's no way Heidi's gonna be able to carry this team.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go to Chicago. I gotta do some cocaine. And Patrick said 2.5 stars. Get these two on a team with Air Bud. Would like to see it. Had this movie aged for us over time? Aaron, both you and I had seen it. Dan, you had not. I'll start with you, Aaron. Aaron, what'd you think of Double Teamed?
Yeah. This movie is kind of exactly how I remembered it. There's a lot of scenes that I enjoyed, a lot of scenes that still make me cringe, but overall, a really great time and exactly how I imagined that the WNBA was formed.
This is how it was made, right here.
Was it better
The
or
Bird Sisters.
worse or the same? Or what do you think?
The same.
The same.
It's exactly how I remembered it. Like, I still enjoy this movie. It's gonna rate pretty high for where we're at right now. But yeah, a lot of, like, because I saw it when I was 8, or 12, but it still holds up for me.
It still holds up for me too. I obviously saw this movie as a child, and even then, I knew enough about basketball to know that this movie didn't basketball.
It doesn't basketball.
But
It doesn't basketball.
But I still like it. I think that the two leads are charming enough to carry this movie along, and the constant tension between them as rivals, but also as sisters, and then working together, and the stuff with Nikki, it worked. All of it works for me, even though I know in my heart of hearts this is barely a basketball movie. The last scene, the basketball scene in this movie where she does the thing, it is so dumb. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, I will say that is the one thing that didn't hold up for me.
It's iconic. It's an iconic scene, and I like this movie significantly more than I should, and I'm okay with that. I've come to terms with it.
Childhood me did wonder why the NBA wasn't studying this move.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
How do you
went
stop
out there and you tried that move,
Like,
right?
like 12-year-old me was like, this is revolutionizing basketball.
I was like,
I don't
maybe
know
this,
how
like-
she's doing it. And watching it as an adult, I was like, oh, okay.
I was
well.
like, maybe if I do this move, I'll be able to dunk. You know, like stuff
I
like
don't know,
maybe
I just
it
feel
will
like she took so much time shuffling between her feet that, like, somebody would
Throws
just
everybody off.
take them.
No, yeah, they just steal it, probably. It's probably what
like,
would happen.
she's
Yeah.
just,
yeah.
they're not getting lost in that shuffle. They're just gonna take it. So
What I think was maybe lost on me as a kid was the reminder that her ankle's broken, and that move you can't do that.
Yeah.
Move.
You can't do it.
You can't do that move with the ankles. But as a kid, you're like, yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
she's doing it.
Rise above.
as an adult, I'm like, wow, I'm so glad that you re-injured yourself for one game and maybe stopped yourself from ever playing basketball again.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. Dan.
Yeah, this movie sucks. It's really, really, really bad. It has very little to do with basketball. The last scene of this movie is atrocious and super duper embarrassing. I think my issue with this movie and the reason it's so bad is because the sports movies that we've seen so far, the DCOMs, have actually been some of my favorites. Motocross, that's not based on a true story, is it?
It does. I don't remember.
My point is it doesn't have to motocross well. The story
I
is
don't think
really
so. It's based on 12th Night.
yeah, exactly. It's not based on like a real person that was the first female to do motocross with the dudes, but it's amazing. It does what it's supposed to do. Johnny Tsunami is about some sort of snowboarding competition at the end of that movie. Brink is about skating. You don't have to get the sports right for the movie to be good. Double Teamed doesn't get the basketball right, and that's fine. My problem is there's a good story to tell here. There's these twins who find basketball and go to the WNBA, and instead we get just a hodgepodge beluga of half stories. This girl, Nikki or whoever, whose dad isn't around, they bring him in. The dad wants him to be on scholarships. The trip to New York, which barely happens. The apartment complex, middle of the night basketball. The injury. Like, you could take one of these stories and see it through and build the characters, and it would be a ton of fun. Instead, we get a movie that is a mile wide and an inch thick that doesn't make me care about anyone involved, and on top of that, sprinkle in the fact that they don't do right by the sport. This was really a tough watch. If I was 7, 8 years old, would I have gone out in the backyard and done the move? Probably. Would I have enjoyed it a lot more? Yes. But as a 41-year-old dude who's never seen it and has seen DCOM really handle sports, look, my top 10 is Brink, Miracle in Lane 2, Johnny Tsunami Motocross. Four of my top 10 are sports movies for DCOM. They have done those well until now. Oh, Luck of the Irish isn't a sports movie. That's just a weird movie.
There is basketball.
But that's 11. That would be 11 for me. So like 5 of my top 11 are sports movies. This movie sucks. It's really, really bad, and not in a fun way. Like, Jumping Ship is bad in a fun way. This is just bad in a bad way. Really, really didn't like it. Didn't enjoy my time.
It's also really hard because you obviously back in 2002, there is no Google. I'm not hopping on to learn about Heather and Heidi Burge in real life.
Yeah.
But that ending scene is also super iconic. Like, when they walk out and you're like, yes. In my mind, as a 12-year-old, that was like, obviously I knew it wasn't real footage of Heather and Heidi, but I was
May
like,
as well have been.
I was like, they're reenacting the first ever WNBA game, and these two sisters played each other. And then to find out that it wasn't the first game of the WNBA, and they weren't even in the league at the same time. They never played each other.
Yeah.
So finding that out as an adult, I was like, okay, well,
it sounds like you're defending my side of it.
I don't know.
It's not a good movie, guys. You can say you liked it when you were younger, but
that's what I said. I mean, I did say in my take that it was I was 8 situation. Like, that is why I'm holding on to liking this movie is because of how I felt.
But Brand said it holds up.
I had a blast.
But it doesn't. I can't tell you it holds up because I didn't see it 22 years ago. I can tell you that now.
Do you want to use our time machine?
You want to use the one? We only get one. You want to use it for this?
I'm asking you.
I think it's worth using for this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are going to use it for this?
Yeah. Give us a second.
If I don't,
hey guys, it does not hold up. I can confirm. Sucks then, sucks now, doesn't hold up. I can imagine loving this if you're 10, 11 years old. I cannot imagine watching it now and thinking it holds up. I think that's a bogus take. That's all I got.
You think it's a bogus
I think it's a bogus take.
You think I'm bogus?
I think you love being 8. And that's fine.
Just say I'm bogus.
There's nothing wrong with that. You're bogus. You're bogus. You're bogus boy.
I'm a bogus brand. It's time for making our lists. We're going to share if this movie made the top 10. If not, where that landed. Then update everybody on our top 10, see if there's been any shuffles. It is, we're heading into spooky season, so who knows how that.
Yeah.
Just being
it's
around
get
the spookiness.
Phantom of Megalovax is now doing
right.
one movie.
Listen, you get swept up. Get swept up in the
it's
emotion.
4, but tell me I didn't think about moving to 3 this week.
The spookiness, man. The pumpkins and stuff. It just sneak up on you. Aaron, where's Double Teamed for you?
Double Teamed is going to debut at 13 for me.
Okay. That's better. After hearing you, I thought it was going to be in your top 10.
What's around it?
Halloween Town 2 is above it, and The Other Me is right below it. Yeah.
Another double movie, huh?
Yeah.
With The Other Man.
Yeah,
I have the other. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, it is a lot. It's going to be that high because of that I saw it when I was 12. Yeah. And it was groundbreaking for me at 12.
And I do want to say this, and I'm just thinking about this now.
Tough.
If you were someone that this inspired you to go play basketball or showed you that everyone can do something great, then awesome. Like, I don't want to disparage your experience with the movie. I'm just saying the movie's not good. That doesn't.
I mean, it was,
Rookie of the Year was my jam, but that movie's ridiculous.
I mean, there definitely is a string of DCOMs where it is females like double teamed.
Motocross is it.
Motocross.
Oh my gosh.
There's one coming up right on track about women in car racing. There's gonna be a theme. So growing up, I saw those movies and I was like, yeah, this is so. I do love that aspect of this movie. The actual filmmaking aspect of it is tough.
Yeah.
So
tough
13.
out there.
And my top 10 hasn't changed, but I will run through it. 10, we've got Quince. 9, 'Twas the Night. Then 8, Phantom of the Megaplex. 7, Xenon. 6, Halloween Town. 5, Luck of the Irish. 4, Smart House. 3, Miracle in Lane 2. 2, Johnny Tsunami. And 1, Motocross.
This movie is going to premiere in my top 10.
Good God.
I will just say really
This
quickly.
is embarrassing.
There's been some shuffling
You're a
around.
bogus boy. You're a bogus boy.
There's been some shuffling around
Your
for
list
movies,
doesn't count.
for movies not in my top 10, but it doesn't matter, so I'm not going to get to those. But
You're a
there's been
bogus
some
boy.
shuffling around. Number 10, Miracle in Lane 2.
It's not 10?
No. Number 9, Jet Jackson the movie. Number 8, Double Teamed. Number 7, Phantom of the Megaplex. Number 6, Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire. Number 5, Luck of the Irish. Number 4, Smart House. Number 3, Motocross. Number 2, Johnny Tsunami. And number 1, the greatest movie of all time, Brink.
You know what's a bummer is that we already used our one time machine.
It is tough.
And we can't
We
go back
used
to a
it.
time and we didn't know that that was his
We
list.
used it to watch a movie we both knew wouldn't hold up. Why did we do that? That's on us.
That's on us.
That's why you don't time machine too quick, gang.
You got to hold that
You
time
gotta-
machine.
yeah.
And I thought that we all three had to agree
Can I tell
when
you
to
this?
use the time machine. You guys
Well,
just left
after
me
your
out of the
take, I
conversation.
didn't. Can I tell you this, Brand?
It was
The-
2-1.
Yes, it was we voted. Yeah, it's the majority rules. You,
And our votes count double,
that's
so
right.
it's really like a
Yes,
4-1.
It was out of. It may as well have been unanimous. 80% rounded up. Brink, can I tell you something? The Brink thing, like you're wrong about that, but I think now you've decided, because I know you, that you're never going to admit otherwise. Like you're just going to dig in, and it's going to be one no matter
That
if we
doesn't
watch like,
sound like me.
freaking Casablanca.
His headstone is going to say
Yeah,
Brinkle's
you're
the
gonna
number
you're gonna have it one regardless of what's next, even if you feel otherwise, you won't change it.
Hey, well, hey, well, I'll
no,
just-
no, you won't.
There's a couple coming up that I'm intrigued.
I
by.
would hope, Bran, that you come to your senses on this. Eight. There are so many. I can't believe I'm doing this, but like the movies there are some real. Miracle in Lane 2 is so much better than this movie. It's so much better.
Sure. I guess if you want to say that. Listen, I'm honestly surprised it's this low, so you should give me a little bit of credit.
Double Team premiering.
I had time to sit with this too.
Double Team premiering for me at 22. At 22. Right behind Alley Cat Strike and right ahead of Halloween 2 Calabar's Revenge. 22.
Oh, so right by
Halloween.
Halloween Town too, like me.
Just like you.
Just
yeah.
like me. Our list is the same.
Top 10, 'Twas the Night at 10. Smart House 9. Brink 8. 7, Quince. 6, Miracle in Lane 2. I messed up. No, 5, Phantom of the Megaplex. 4, Halloween Town. 3, Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire. 2, Johnny Tsunami. And number 1, the greatest DCOM by far so far, Motocrossed. I said earlier that I had Phantom of the Megaplex at 4, moving to 3. I was wrong. I have it at 5. So, but thinking about a 4 spot for it. Just thinking.
You're just praying about it. We did, everybody. Congratulations. Next week, we are back with Hillary Duff's first DCOM.
Cadet Kelly.
Cadet Kelly. Very much looking forward to
Dan, any
that.
first thoughts on what Cadet Kelly is about?
It's about ROTC.
Okay. Hillary Duff and Christy
Would it
Carlson
surprise you
Romano.
to know that there's a chimpanzee in that movie?
Chimpanzee? Oh, no.
And Dan, I know this will excite you. Christy Carlson Romano also in that movie.
Yeah. Who's that?
Yes. You'll find out.
Okay.
We talk about her all the time.
All the time.
Awesome. Cool.
We're gonna be back next time with that.
And one of
Until-
the Ashmores.
Oh,
Sean
great.
Ashmore?
Yeah, it could be. Until then, keep
Good DCOM. it up.
DCOM.
DCOM Descendants is a Bramble Jam podcast produced in, that Greenville, South Carolina, the Bramble Jam Podcast Network studios by Brandon Gray. For more information on DCOM Descendants, you can go to @DCOM Descendants on the socials, www.dcompodcast.com, or join Bramble Jam Plus at bramblejamplus.com to watch us watch these movies live.